Force of Map 5. Amplify Force of Map 5. Hello friends, and welcome back to another Meet the Team with Amplify. My name is Jeff. I've got team manager Findirath in here with me today. Findy, introduce yourself to the people out there.
Hi, I'm Findirath. I'm the team manager for Amplify, and I'm honestly really excited to be able to talk about some of these questions.
I'm excited to get you out here. I'm excited to have a chat.
Hey, this is sick. Nicely done. I'm a big fan of this Amplify, of course.
Right out of the gate, what exactly is a team manager in Overwatch terms?
Being someone for your players to talk to, like kind of the catch-all for anything that might come up. You know, you book your scrims, you get your warm-ups, you know, reschedule matches, whatever you need to do. We really want to focus on our content side, kind of trying to schedule stuff like that and get content organized, recruiting, helping with marketing wherever possible, anything like that. It's just kind of like you do a bit of everything.
It's a lot more than just scheduling.
Scheduling sometimes can be the hardest thing, especially when the players don't want to fill out the spreadsheets you provided them. But but there's a lot that goes to it. It's a challenge sometimes, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Thrown in onto Astro to keep them alive. The Sunbreaker are barely getting there in time. The barrage over the top, it's still not enough to save Astro. Jive cannot bail their tank out in time. And Amplify get the perfect combo needed to come wrestle this point away. First good fight. What made you want to get into managing? How did you go from, I assume, just playing Overwatch or being a fan of the game, or to manage?
So I went to university. I'm at the University of North Florida. So I tried out, made the team, played for 2 semesters, and then everything kind of fell apart. I didn't really want to give up on it. I enjoyed the time I spent there, so I decided I would just put it back together. And that was the start of everything. October and November of 2023, I kind of realized I really enjoyed running the university team. I knew there was the open division. So I went and posted an LFT, a team called Paradise Lost, brought me on as their manager. And from there, I just kind of started doing the work and climbing, joining better teams, helping better teams, doing more work, meeting more people, all the networking and everything. And it kind of ended up, now I'm here. So
you basically went from open division to OWCS in 15 months?
Give or take, yes. Something like that.
That's wild.
A lot of that stuff, but where Space Station was able to hold onto the orbital ray, they are not going to be able to use it because of the EMP that gets layered on top, and Phone goes absolutely crazy with that.
There was a point where I kind of left NA. I went and tried to build a team in EMEA. I came back to NA and I felt way out of I felt like I lost a lot. I came back and I was like, it was a little bit of a struggle for me to kind of get the motivation to continue pushing at NA. Eventually I did though.
This kind of feeds into the joining Amplify. Did those things align? Is that timetable align with you coming back to NA?
The team I made in Europe was called Across the Pond, and they were together for a couple of months. And I think it was just before stage 3 that it kind of things kind of, I don't want to say they fell apart. I think things just kind of it was the end, and it sucks. I didn't want to miss out on stage 3, and I didn't have a team really in NA, so I spent the next 72 hours just putting together something for Europe. Then from there I kind of started focusing on NA again. I made Sakura for Expert. That was with the old core of Arise, way back when.
Yeah, it was the console crew.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
not to confuse anybody out there, Sakura was an A team at this time.
Yes. The season before, at the end of the season, Carms came to me about managing a team called Day by Day. Kind of don't know old Carms, if I remember correctly. Not on purpose. I am really bad at responding to messages sometimes. So a week later, Carms DM'd me again, and I said, yeah, I'll come take a look. From there, Day by Day played in the next Expert League. We beat Daybreak 3-2 in a banger 5-map series.
Yeah. And
it felt really similar to winning against Supernova, to be honest. That was kind of a big moment, bringing home that and the placement with it. So
you get a result like that, you're hooked. So then when Amplify gets picked up, you're brought over as well. Is that
Yeah. So
who all made that
Amplify,
jump?
Gap, Ewan, Crazy Cat. I think Winter was technically a sub for us at the time.
Right.
It was basically there's a whole Day by Day roster. Day by Day was a great org to be with. I think their main focus was Call of Duty, and I wanted to see if there were orgs that were within the Overwatch specific sphere that we could try and work with. We all kind of hopped over to Amplify. That's also when we didn't really have a coach at that time, so Legola was like just immediately became our coach, and that has worked beautifully.
You may even consider here, Rose, just not going back and fighting this one. Like, you're gonna be near 70%. You're gonna have to give up some ultimates, even kind of make it a fight. You already have 2 flashpoints in your back pocket.
Whoa.
You give it up, but they push right past through the Amp Matrix, and they find Sugar Free, so maybe they can get this done.
I was gonna say, I think that Gap has different plans. Absolutely.
Got some flags going on in the background. I have to ask why the German flag on the wall?
So I'm not like from Germany, but my family has like a very, very heavy German descent. My family name comes directly from Germany.
Gotcha.
We got everything. We got the family crest. We got like the town. It's something I'm proud of. It's like being like knowing where my family comes from. I think my plan is when Stockholm comes around this year, I want to go to Europe. And I want to take a train. Maybe start in like England or France, take a train to visit Berlin, and then take a train to Stockholm and fly back home after the event.
That sounds like a trip of a lifetime. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. We can't really see it on stream right now, but there's also a Korean flag up over your right shoulder.
My grandparents had an exchange student from Korea. Did high school here, then he actually did got his degree here. So he was in the U.S. for a solid 7 or 8 years all told. Kind of just felt like a member of the family. I mean, he is a member of the family. After my grandfather passed away, my grandma moved out of the house that they lived in.
Sure.
And while she's cleaning stuff out, she found this flag that he gave to them.
Uh-huh.
And so my mom was up there helping, and she brought it back. So I've had it up on my wall since then.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So.
Scuff picked off though. That's another nice one from Winter. Vibra's definitely been playing second fiddle to Winter so far, and she's far from
She is farming. Yeah.
Flying. What is going on?
Farming right now.
What's on your desktop background right now?
I prepared for this one. There's a background that I have used for the longest time, and the only reason I ever change it is because I like rearranging everything on my desk, my setup and all that, and I like setting up a new background for it. This is what is normally there though.
Okay.
And it kind of goes along with my profile. It's almost a personal connection at this point.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's on brand.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That's amazing.
Ryan's down! No way! Watch history be made! Amplify, we will see you in OWCS. Unbelievable.
So you talked about you join Amplify and how that happens, and then suddenly you jump from T3 to OWCS.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, first off, did you notice like a change in your job overnight? Like, what's the difference between managing a T3 team and managing a Tier 1 team?
Scrim quality had to be immaculate now because we ended up scrimming SSG, although that wasn't even me. That was they reached out to us to give us a block.
Yeah.
But yeah, scrims were a big one. I want us to win. And to do that, if we can play better and better teams in scrims, it gives us good VOD material. At the best, we are learning from it mid-scrim. Like, we're adapting and applying new things as we play these teams. And you do that enough times in 1 week, you go from losing to the matches we were hoping to win, to holding our own. Taking a map off of SSG was big for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's like that really just comes off of those kinds of scrims, and like being able to focus on these things and like apply these things and practice these things against better and better teams.
Hack onto Bliss. It's going to send everybody a space station running away as Sugar Free comes back to see if the blade can actually save the day. Overtime is going to expire, and Matt, I think we're gonna see Amplify tie this up. Kellen is trying his best to come back on the Diva, but it just feels like it's stalling out the inevitable here.
Have you noticed a moment where it's like, oh wow, like I've just watched this team get better in the last hour?
SSG. The SSG game was 100% that moment. Don't get me wrong, Avidity and Shikigami are a very good team.
You don't make OWCS if you're not a great team.
Exactly.
Period.
2 teams go to relegation.
Yeah.
The rest of them make playoffs. So there's 3 teams there that are going to be fighting really, really hard for that number 6 spot. So those were the 2 teams for us to beat. We lost on Esperanza on map 4 of both series, and it was eerily similar. And going into the next week, our first match is against SSG, and we take a map. You know, that's crazy to me.
That's a proud moment. That's a proud moment.
So seeing that kind of improvement in like a week makes me actually very, very hopeful. And seeing what some of the other teams are capable of doing, you know, Avidity beating Rad was a really interesting to me, because to me it's showing that no one here is really untouchable. Every game is a moment for us to win. And I think if we keep improving at the rate we're going, like we are not out of this by any means. There's a lot of chances to exceed expectations, to beat the teams that you weren't supposed to.
Right now, though, on a pound-for-pound basis, they're looking like they can handle Timeless.
What are some of your goals as a manager? Outside of obviously the team wants to stay at the highest level, but just from a managing perspective, what are some of your goals here being in OWCS and even beyond?
My ultimate goal for OWCS is stage 2. I think something I want to do more work in the other circuits. So collegiate was where I fell in love with this.
Yeah.
Working with the team here at UNF, especially now with OWCS, my primary focus has been on Amplify. If I didn't do collegiate with UNF, I never would be here. It's a really good environment that gives a lot of opportunities to a lot of people, both to go to school and just to play the game. And similarly I want to work with Calm more.
Sure.
I have kind of like had my own my own revelation moments in terms of like my identity and like how I fit into this world.
Yeah.
And so the more and more like that I kind of like think about those things, I look at Ka and like I kind of start to realize like it's not just another circuit, it's definitely like is 100% something that is becoming more and more meaningful to me every day. And seeing the teams play there is like they're crazy good.
Yeah.
So it's something I want to be more involved in.
Ray doesn't save Rucker's life. Rocket goes for a blade that just stops midair, and that's a great turn of events for Amplify.
If there was one thing about Amplify that you want the world to know, that you could just shout from the rooftops and hope the entire Overwatch community would hear you, what would it be?
We're here. We're not going anywhere. Even if it's the limbo zone between Masters and OWCS, we've already made vast improvements, and if we drop back down, we'll come back, and we'll come back stronger.
Findirath, thank you so much for taking the time to come talk with me. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Y'all be sure to support Findirath and the rest of Amplify as they show the world what they're made of here in the Overwatch Champions Series.